All right, it's the Red Hot Breakfast. Let's now get into this special interview. Now, we're glad to have veteran journalist Thomas Zgambo in studio this morning to discuss the Cybersecurity Bill number 29 of 2024, as well as the Cyber Crimes Bill number 30 of 2024. Now, as you may know, government has issued a notice to the National Assembly to retable the bills after they were initially withdrawn to provide for what government called wider stakeholder consultation. The bills still appear very unpopular, even after refinements have been done by removing some clauses. So that's the reason why we have Mr. Zgambo in studio to shed more light on why these bills should not be assented to. Good morning. Good to have you in studio today.
Good morning, Hope. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome. All right. So you have practiced journalism for a very long time, and yours has been an interesting career. Now, do you remember your first major story that got published? Let's start with that.
Yes. My first major story was published by the Zambian Daily Mail. From my training at Africa Literature Center, I got employed by the Zambian Daily Mail.
Okay.
Actually, it was an award because they said the best student then would be employed by them. So I was the best student at Mindora in my intake. So I came to Daily Mail. The first story I did was in the NCZ scandal, where some money allocated to NCZ was misapplied as Minister of Commerce. And the then Minister of Commerce, I can't remember his name. He was a Teji member of parliament then, Bets Namuyamba.
Okay.
Bets Namuyamba was implicated with the late Chulo Kalima. So I wrote a story in the Zambia Daily Mail. And President Chulo was very surprised that Zambia Daily Mail could publish such a story against a minister. I think that's what led to Honorable Namuyamba be fired. That was my best story ever.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
All right. So today we're facing these two bills that have gone back to Parliament. The Cyber Security Bill number 29 of 2024 and the Cyber Crimes Bill number 30 of 2024. Why are you opposed to these proposed legislations?
I'll be very honest. The reason why me and several other people are opposed to this is there's evidence that the laws in Zambia are not being applied equally. So these laws, they are trying to, for me, they are already done deal, because between you and me, I can tell you that I'm informed that these bills are actually being pushed by State House. So even if we are appealing to the president not to assent to them, we may be wasting time. As Thomas Allan Zgambo, I've been informed that the government, through the Drug Enforcement Commission, procured a certain equipment, for surveillance equipment from Israel. But the owners of this equipment want legislation to allow use of this equipment. So these bills are being pushed in order to facilitate the use of certain surveillance equipment.
What kind of equipment is that? What's that meant to do?
It's equipment which are facilitated for the Pegasus software procured from NCO of Israel. And you know, Israel now is an international spotlight where civil society organizations are questioning why the Israel has continued supplying this surveillance equipment. So they have now also put strict measures for states to utilize their equipment. So the Zambia needs a law in order to facilitate the use of that equipment. So for me, it's not only my concern, it should be a concern for every Zambian, including Hot FM. Because these new bills, they also target institutions. So imagine if this law was passed, for me it's already a done deal. What I'm saying here, they can come for you guys here. Meanwhile, they know it's. So this is the reason why we have to object to it. The freedom of expression is being threatened because every Zambian has a fundamental right to expression. This is in the Bill of Rights. You have a right to express freely. If you have lied, the person you have lied against has the right to take you to court again. Okay, so what they're doing, this government is doing, is to criminalize journalism. Munyaula is closed. Okay, they are targeting the Zambian whistleblower because it's not registered. But we also have got Plan B now. If you check on Facebook, there's a page coming up called the Ozone Media. It's registered because now what they are going to do is they are even going to target people, individuals who are broadcasting who have not registered them. So for me, it's a bill, a law which should not be supported. Secondly, the president himself is quoted on several occasions. I have one video I can show you here where he blatantly urged Zambians not to allow the cyber crime laws. So why has he changed now? So it can only prove that it's to his own benefit, not national benefit. So they have to be opposed. And I'm also calling upon the international community never to allow these bills to be ascended to. They are literally to shut your mouth up. Yeah, you don't complain about the economy. You don't complain about the poor health facility. That's what these bills are for.
We saw a letter from the U.S. Africa Business Center urging President Hichilema not to sign the bills into law, calling them repressive, saying they don't meet international best practices. What will be your personal appeal to President Hichilema?
As earlier stated, I may be wasting time appealing to him. He's pushing for these bills. It's his people. Some of them are my colleagues in the media industry. If you want, I can mention. Do you want me to mention them? They are free to sue me. Okay, because I want to promote freedom of expression. So people like Whitney Mlobera is my friend. Whitney is a lawyer, is a journalist. They are all pushing for this. Okay, so they have identified the civil society organizations which are friendly, which can say no, we agree to these amendments. So there's even no need to appeal to President Hakainde Hichilema not to assent to this bill. The appeal should be to Zambians to stop him from doing this. He's the one pushing for these bills. So there's no need for me to appeal to him.
So how do you know that the individual you've mentioned is part of this whole grand scheme?
I'm a journalist and I'm a victim. I'm appearing in court for 3 cases. There's a criminal life. On Friday, I'll be in court. I'm almost in court every 2 weeks. I'm in court for seditious practices, over questioning whether it's in order for Zambia National Public Health Institute, a government wing, to rent offices from the president. I'm in court. I'm in court over questioning whether ZNS is selling GMO meal. All these are examples of what's now. Imagine an enhanced law. I'm already in court over such things. But all these are cyber crime. And my arresting officers are all from the cyber crime unit at police headquarters. So I know I'm actually disappointed with my friends like Whitney, who even want now to bring divide and rule among journalists so that they support these bills. These bills should not be supported. Even the members of parliament who are supporting this, they should be decampaigned. Zambians should find a way of not making sure that these people don't come back to parliament. These are repressive laws meant to shut the citizens who are the bosses to the politicians. We shouldn't allow them.
So as we close, Mr. Zgambo, what message do you have for journalists in Zambia and supporters of press freedom as far as these bills are concerned?
For journalists in Zambia, for once, let's try to be patriotic. Journalists are human rights defenders, just like lawyers. But it's very strange now to find that journalists in Zambia have become check journalists. They are serious capitalists. They have sold their souls for a bowl of soup. I'm actually very disappointed. I wouldn't lie. I would be lying if I say everything is okay. So I would urge them to put Zambia first. The people of Zambia, in case, because I'm more than sure that they want to pass these bills because they have equipment which they want to facilitate these bills, to facilitate the use of that equipment. In case the president assents to this, vote him out, because that means he's a hypocrite. He talked against such bills, and meaning that it's not honest. What other example do you want or evidence do you want to prove that President Hakainde Hichilema is a hypocrite? If he assents to these bills, he is a confirmed hypocrite and a dictator and should be voted out in 2026.
What can you point at in these bills that would operationalize the use of Pegasus, as you are alleging? How would that work?
First of all, even now, government world over are authorized to intercept communication for citizens. But there's a procedure, okay? The current procedure is under the Electronic Communication and Transaction Act, where a law enforcement officer above the rank of chief inspector can apply to the Attorney General, okay? Give reasons, the Attorney General authorizes. Then when the Attorney General authorizes, you go to the High Court judge, not a magistrate, a High Court judge who authorizes and gives a certain period of time. If they say intercept Hope is phone for 2 weeks, in case the law enforcement officers don't find what they are looking for in 2 weeks, they have to go back to a judge and seek the extension. That law is there, but they have never used it. I'm in court with Airtel, I think you know that. Yeah. From 2015. It's the same. Okay, someone at State House, George Sheller, authorized the Airtel to tap my phones without following procedure. Now with these laws, they will even make the state more powerful. I don't think there will even be need for a chief inspector to go to the Attorney General. They'll just walk into a friendly magistrate and judge. There are plenty now. There are plenty. They are there at magistrate. So they'll just walk into the office there and say, we suspect Hope is transmitting this through warrant. They just come here and pick Hope whilst she's here. So they should actually, government should publicize it, publicize those bills. Let the citizens read them. Actually, even in local languages, let them put them in the 7 official local languages so that the citizens understand those bills. Okay, because they're pretending they're making laws for the citizens. They're making laws for themselves. So read them. You read them, let's see. You can bring me here again with Mr. Tabo Kawana if you want to, with Ms. Whitney Mulovera. We discuss those bills. But first of all, let them make them available to citizens in the 7 official local languages. Let the citizens read them and understand those bills. Those bills are very repressive. Okay. They are bills by dictators.
Mr. Zgambo, I'd like to thank you very much for speaking to us this morning, making time to come to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me here. Enjoy your day.
All right, you're welcome.
Thanks.
All right, there you have it. We're having a conversation with Mr. Thomas Zgambo, who's a veteran journalist, right, speaking on the 2 bills. That's the Cybersecurity Bill number 29 of 2024 and the Cyber Crimes Bill number 30 of 2024.